Okay, this podcast is broken up into two parts basically. The first part was with Rashid McDonald, who was also a Mets reporter. So we talked about the Subway Series. We attacked both angles from the Yankees and Mets perspective. So now I'm going to have some closing thoughts here, and then we're going to go from there. So I'll end up editing this too, probably making it like a different mix as well. But more importantly, for tonight, we're getting close to it now. In 24 hours, there will be a Subway Series game, the first one of the year. And this one is highly anticipated for a million different reasons outside of just the Soto situation, which we touched on earlier. Um, it's just like you have two amazing teams right now. Could it be a real Subway Series? I feel like last year the Yankees made the World Series, the Mets didn't, but they took the Dodgers to more games. And last year, there was definitely a very real possibility of it happening. The Mets were 2 wins short of that ultimately. But if it did, then it would have been crazy. But now, if you fast forward a year after what Soto did, it would be even crazier if it was to happen now. Um, so honestly speaking, like, do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not, because the Dodgers still exist. But if it wasn't for them, I might say there's a decent chance of it happening. But the Yankees still have to get through their side too. They still have things to clean up. Like I talked about earlier, the Tigers are very good. That's definitely a big thorn in the Yankees side potentially. But that's a long way to go before there's a concern with them. The Red Sox are still only like 3.5 out, I think, or so. So like, um, I think the Yankees, like I said, everything considered, like with the injuries, I think they've gotten off to a great start if you're factoring that in. So that's what I would say about that. But like, there's still so many more things to dive into, and there's a couple things that are aggravating me too. Um, so I'm not too happy with like certain conceptions here about the Soto Grisham. Like I mentioned the Grisham stuff earlier. I don't want to see comparisons. Then like Ben Rice, like comparing Soto to Ben Rice, like that's just nonsensical too. Like what are we doing? Go, he has 22. Oh, our 22 is better. First of all, no, he's not at all. And then like he's having a good season. Do not get me wrong. Again, like when I do this stuff, it's not to disrespect certain players, but they need to be slowed down and pumped the brakes on certain stuff a little bit. That's all I'm asking for. I think it's reasonable. So, in essence, like what I'm saying is that it really, to me, like it's just not a good thing to do. And then you have people having the audacity to ignore Dominguez's third home run because they said it was soft or like they don't count the third one. And then people talking about Vivas' hit not counting because it's a hanging breaking ball and all this nonsense about Judge and the car accident and everything else that's just not about baseball and just really stupid. It's just like, why are we wasting time on that? I really wish people would pay more attention to the stuff that's actually important in the game because there's a lot of great stories and just about all this like cookie cutter stuff looking for clicks. Like that's not what I've ever done. It's not what I will do. So to each their own, but it's just certain things that are really bothering me. So that's off my chest now. We'll move on. And then, sorry, one more. Dismissing JC's walk off too was also, and saying his name wrong. That's also disrespectful as well. While we're at it, so anyway, he gets the props he deserves on this show. So that's all I control what I can control. Let's say. Okay. Unfortunately, there was a really tough situation with Oswaldo Cabrera. You know, I had such a crazy reaction to this, just thinking about that same night with Jason Tatum, even though it was Knicks, Celtics, different sports. And then the same day to see Oswaldo go down was definitely a really tough scene. It was really tough, honestly. It's just like, just call that cut and dry, call it what it is. Like, it was really a gruesome injury. It was really unfortunate that it happened, obviously. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I know like people are gonna like overstate that, but like you can't understate that. That's the thing. Like Oswaldo, he's just like the type of dude. He's like that guy who works a 9 to 5. He puts in overtime. He does whatever he has to do. He's gonna show up with a million different hats. He's gonna do everything well that he's asked to do. So it's just like a shame to see because he was given a golden opportunity this year to play third base, and he played close to 40 games. I want to say he did pretty well. His defense was pretty good. His offense, it was coming around a little bit. He did have a hit before he went down, unfortunately, and one homer this year. And this isn't really about stats, but just like putting a little perspective. So 34 games, close to 40 anyway. But that's really not what the point is here. The point is that like this is the guy that puts his heart and soul on the line for the team. This is the guy that's willing to talk to any kid, any fan, any person, anywhere. He doesn't care about wasting time. He doesn't see it as a waste of time. He'll stay after the game. He'll sign for people before the game. He does all these events with my guy Frank Luna. Shout out to Frank, my friend, for like all the stuff he's done. He's helped me do, and all the events and all the interviews and everything he's set up, and all the charities and donations, and everyone keep donating to it. He has a lot of information out there about it. Also, shout out to the Mariners Nation for being very classy about the situation too, from the team admins to the fan base to the donations. It's just really cool to see the impact that Oswaldo's had, not even just on the Yankees or baseball or Venezuelan culture. It goes deeper than that. It's like he's very well respected around the game. And the only bit of good news is that I guess it's not a broken ankle. I think there may or may not be surgery. It's up in the air from what I last heard from Alferi Alvarez, who was on this news first about like that what might happen. But I don't fully know for sure. But in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it is that he's out for the year. And I told someone else this too. I'm like, in my opinion, he's out for the year. Anything other than that is a pleasant surprise to me. Best case scenario, if he avoids surgery, he's probably out like 3 months. Fast forward 3 months, that would put you into August. Then you have to see, is he ready? How long does the rehab take? I think it was like either 6 to 8 if it's a fracture, but that doesn't count for rehab, obviously, or like maybe 8 to 12. But either way, the chances of him playing again are not good, in my opinion. If he comes back at all, you're looking at September or October maybe. So it would be a good lift. It would be a good boost. But at the same time, and this has nothing to do with him, actually, the Yankees straight up fail to address the position. And now it's really going to snakebite them even more than we thought it already would have, because now you're really down to your wits' ends with these infielders. Pablo Reyes should not even be on the team. Still on the team. He could have possibly been DFA'd. Now he will not be. DJ LeMahieu getting a second gas, maybe a last life. Actually, to his credit, he looks better the other day in the box. I don't know if that's going to mean anything, if it's going to translate, but he looks better. There was a single like 100 miles an hour, I think. I think he had a ground out similar speed. No, I'm not joking about the ground out. If he hits the hard, he hits the hard. But maybe there's something there. Maybe he can he stay healthy long enough? That I don't know about. Can his body even maintain this anymore? I don't know. I'm really not too sure. So that's going to be a big question mark to me. Can he do it? Sure. Will he? I have no idea. But can he at least be like a 700 OPS bat? That's how low the bar is for him right now, in my opinion. So can he manage to do that? It's possible. If he can, then I guess it's good enough because his defense is still pretty good. Now, because of the Jazz Chisholm situation, he's also going to end up playing. He's also going to end up playing second and first. I mean, not first, sorry. Second also and third. Not first anymore because they have Goldschmidt and Rice. He won't be at first base. So, like, that's how I'm looking at it. But, again, it's a long way to go to figure all this stuff out. And we're going to have to see how it all goes. And Jorge Vivas, he's another Venezuelan infielder that is going to get an opportunity here. Oswaldo Cabrera, is he going to finally figure it out? I think there's signs his bat might be coming to life. I posted about his expected stats the other day before all this stuff happened. So I definitely think there's a path for that, but he has to prove it because he hasn't proven anything yet with his bat at the big league level, and he's running out of time. So it's really now or never for Peraza, and this is actually going to be a good opportunity for him because now he'll have more runway because it's really a three-man rotation, Vivas, LeMahieu, and Peraza for two spots, and you would think that Reyes is more of an afterthought, though you never know. So, yeah, that's something that's interesting for sure. I was actually looking into some Mets prospects too to switch sides and go across town. We already did our previews of like the pitching matchups and everything. I really think that Griffin Canning has impressed and James McGill both pitch over their heads. Maybe there's some regression there. I think David Peterson is just about what you would expect. Nolan McLean has looked pretty good for the Mets in AAA now. I know he's pitching tonight. Drew Gilbert is starting to walk more and he's striking out, so that's definitely good for him. I know Blake Tidwell, like I mentioned previously, was up, no back down. So, like, you look at what's going on with the Mets prospects, and I think they're in a good spot. Speaking of that, I do have some exciting news to share. I will be having a prospect guy come on next week. Going to talk Yankees prospects and going to talk Mets prospects. So we're gonna go through that. He works for MLB. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna tip the hand yet, but we're gonna have a nice guest for prospects next week. Both farm systems, maybe a few other things as well. And then I have another guest coming on too. Someone that is a big Mets reporter is gonna join me as well. So we're gonna split those podcasts up. Next week's gonna be a big week. We're gonna recap the Subway Series. And we're going to look ahead to the farm. So here's the guy I like, Jared Young. This guy's hitting for some pop. I was just watching some videos, and yeah, he's 29. But this guy has 6 bombs, 18 RBI. And let me tell you, none of them are cheap. None of them are cheap. He was a 15th round pick by the Cubs in 2017. It's definitely been a long journey for him. He's a first baseman, so that's not going to work with Pete Alonso, obviously. But he's been in the minors. He's been grinding for years. Does he get a look? Does he get traded? Could they DH him maybe? I know the Mets have a lot of bats up there, so I don't know. But I think it's a guy that's very intriguing. His OPS is 1056. That's 1,056. Only 68 at bats, but this guy has some pop on the left side. Pop in the top of building of the backings of the minor league stadiums. And I was impressed with what I saw. So we'll see if he gets a look. Yankees farm system, quick little reporting. George Lombard had a good hit today. He's now settling in with Somerset a little bit. Cam Schlittler struck out 7, but gave up 4 runs as well. He's an arm the Yankees have their eyes on as well. I don't think he's going to make it this year. Some people think he should. I don't think so. Anthony DeScalfini signs to a minor league deal. I mean, he can't be worse than Carlos Carrasco, so I guess. But again, as I've mentioned on this show before, a guy I'm pushing for still is Sean Boyle. I want to see Boyle get his opportunity. He's been in the Yankees system for a while as well. He's a guy that's going to pitch his ass off. He's not going to blow up a radar gun. He's going to locate pitches well. It's going to get him movement. He has that backdoor sweeper now. That's really a problem against left-handed hitters that he's working on. His changeup's been a good factor for him. His color, like he has so many different pitches he can go to. I think he's a guy that can get it done to the big league level. He's battle tested. He's been through a Tommy John now. He's building himself back up. It looks like better than ever almost in certain senses. And I know some of the stuff is ticking up. There's new pitches. So for me, Sean Boyle's the guy that the Yankees need to consider in their plans if Yarbo can't figure it out because he's in the 5 spot right now, which is very fluid. Here's the thing. I like how the Yankees reset their rotation for the Subway Series. Instead of giving them the extra off day, no, go for the best. Give your 3 best arms the spot here because this is not a normal 3 Subway Series with the Mets. And last year, the Yankees took it very lightly, and it was very arrogant to say. Like, you had J.D. Martinez hitting cleanup. You have Jahmai Jones leading off in 2 of the games. Like, really just not really a slap in the face to the Mets, and they took advantage, and they swept the Yankees last year. So the Yankees can't afford that to happen again this year. This is a really good litmus test for them because the American League's pretty weak. The National League's definitely stronger. There's no question about that. So let's see how they stack up. Like I said earlier, I don't expect a sweep on either side. Saturday, I think, will be the highest scoring game. Sunday definitely reads the pitcher duel with Peterson and Fried, because the Yankees can't hit a lefty to save their life, and Peterson's pretty good, so that might be a problem. But Max Fried has a lot of success against the Mets, so that might be good for the Yankees. So maybe they'll squeak out a low scoring game there. Saturday's my X factor high scoring game, kind of, because I feel like Clark Schmidt's good, but like the Mets have a lot of lefties and cause issues for him, like I said. And then Griffin Canling's kind of been pitching over his head to me. I know he's pretty good. I know the stuff's been there, but like he's definitely a guy that could be had, I think. It hasn't really happened yet this year, but he's due for a bad outing, in my opinion. And at Yankee Stadium with the short porch, I don't see there could be a time that the Yankees get him for a few runs. So he has a 2.36. Like he's never been this good before. So can he hold it up? Have the Mets found something? I mean, it's definitely possible, but at the same time, you are who you are in a certain sense, and we'll find out on Saturday about him. And Tyler McGill, to me, is a little bit of a different story. I mean, yeah, Canning's worst outing this year gave up 4 runs. Like he hasn't even had a bad outing yet. Like that's not even bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not awful. He's never pitched more than 6 innings. He goes 5 innings a lot. He does it, but he's 5-1. I know wins don't mean that much anymore, but they're 7-1 when he pitches, so that means something to me. And I think the Yankees are like 9-1 when Max Fried pitches. So that's something to look at as well. Max Fried has been absolutely incredible. Like there is no way to go around Max Fried being incredible. And yeah, he's 6-0 record-wise, and they are – I had it before. I'll get it back. Yeah, I just want to confirm that 9-1 because I know they just lost one recently. I think it was that weird game in Seattle, the 2-1. Yeah. And the Mets definitely did not have a good series against the Pirates, and they're going to be looking to rebound. So I think this is coming for a perfect time for both teams. Another thing about Max Fried that I don't really talk about that much, his defense is elite, and he's 8-1. He has 3 Gold Gloves. But his worst outing of the year was giving up 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Opening day was his worst, 2 runs in 4 2/3, but the defense is not helping. And he has 6 runs total. But other than that, he's given up 1 run or less 7 times this year. He's given up 2 runs or less in all 9 of his starts. He has been sensational. Absolutely sensational. So let's go deeper into the hood with McGill, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So McGill and then Rodon. Rodon deserves some props because he gets a lot of slack from this fan base, and he's really delivered of late. Even though his last start was a little uneven, he settled in and got 10 strikeouts after his rough first. So we'll see. But going back to Fried, and McGill, rather, he's through 8 starts. He's 3-3. He's a 3.10 righty, like I said, 40 innings, 52 Ks. So he's pitching pretty well too. And for me, it's tough to evaluate him because he's a younger player. So I don't know if this is what he is or like if he found something, because it's possible. He's only 29. Canning has a little bit more of a sample size opposed to McGill. So that's why I'm a little more skeptical about him. But we did see him do Manai, Quintana, and Severino. So it's definitely possible. I'm not going to rule it out. But I'm definitely going to go under the hood more with Carlos Rodon as well. Let's go under the hood with Rodon. So he's, like I said, he had 10 Ks last time out. Gave up 4 runs in the first. I mean, Oakland A's are a good hitting team. He was second in Ks with Mackenzie Gore at one point. Now he has 67. He may have passed him. I don't know. But 54 innings, 9 Ks, 9 starts. It's 4-3. Has a 3.29. So overall, it's like really good, despite a few boneheaded home runs that kind of hurt a few starts. Really, he had 2 starts. He gave up 4 runs. And then other than that, it's been pretty good for the most part. So let's see if he can build. And this is a big litmus test for him as well, because the Subway Series is a big deal. And there was actually one other one he gave up 4 and 5, but the other starts have been so good he was able to get it down. Because there was a stretch he went 3 out of 4 starts with no runs allowed. Then he gave up 2. Opening day he gave up 1. But yeah, a little there was a bad patch, and then he got it together. And then last week was a little bit rough, even though he struck out 10. When he gives up a bomb, it's obviously a problem. Because if you look at this score sheet here or his game logs, this is actually kind of interesting. Every game he hasn't given up a bomb has been a shutout. So the 3 games he hasn't given up a homer, he hasn't given up 1 run at all. So if he could keep the ball in the ballpark, which is easier said than done, especially against some of these Mets hitters, then I think the Yankees will be in a good position to win this game. So we'll see if he can do it, though, because Soto's tough on lefties. That's not going to phase him. Lindor's a switch hitter, obviously. Alonso's tough on lefties. Vientos is a lefty killer. So that's some problems right there. It might be easier to get Beatty out left on left. Same thing with Brandon Nimmo. Francisco Alvarez is probably a little better against lefties, I would think. Starling Marte could probably factor in here too as the DH maybe. So he's kind of on the back 9, but we'll see if he has anything to provide this series. So that's my litmus test. And then my final closing thing is going to be don't tell fans what to do at once. So they can do whatever they want. Don't say we have Grisham or any of that. Just it is what it is. He left. He's going to deal with the rap to that tomorrow and throughout the weekend. And whatever they want to do, as long as it's safe. I'm not saying throw stuff at it. I'm not advising that at all. As long as it's safe. If there's some profanity, there's some profanity. That's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no way to clean that up. They could yell as loud as they want. I'm against racism and violence. Other than that, have at it, honestly. I don't boo players, obviously, because I can't, and I wouldn't, but I'm a reporter, so that's not my thing to do. All right. Thanks, everyone. This has been a very interesting edition. I'm going to chop this up and kind of re-edit a little bit, see how I can make this thing look. So thanks, everyone, for bearing with me. Today was a little bit difficult. Before I do get going, though, I want to do some shout-outs for sure. First of all, subscribe to the channel or Esquina, and then everyone can check me out on Julian Gallardi 1 on Twitter, Julian Gallardi 11 on Instagram, our Esquina everywhere. I'm also on TikTok as well. So, so thanks again, everyone.